in that organization that you would like to bring over to the UFC? Because personally, I think Jake Shields at 170 pounds could give a good fight to GSP and we could have the chance to drop really big.
Yeah, I like Jake too. Jake's a good kid. He's been winning. I like Robbie Lawler. Lawler would be interesting to bring back. And, you know, I've been thinking about possibly Gina Carano fighting in the UFC.
Yes!
You know, we'll see how that whole thing shakes out. And what was the first question you asked me?
Maybe Ben for Toronto.
Yeah, the way that that works is obviously, you know, all the good fights that are happening now at the end of 2008 are going to make great fights in 2009. But I don't, you know, it depends on what the cycle is by the time we got here. You know, we don't really look at it. It's funny when he fought in Montreal, it fell on. It was time for him to fight. You know, the next fight in Montreal, he probably won't fight on that card. Yeah, April. Yeah.
Hey, how are you? Welcome to Toronto. Bienvenue à Toronto, George. It's a bit of a long question, to bear with me, but now nobody's denying that this is a super fight and everybody wants to see this. But we got two champions here fighting each other, and title fights are at a premium. So, and presuming that if BJ wins, he keeps defending both titles. Maybe he can address that. But with title fights at such a premium, how do you sort of justify this fight to guys like Thiago Alves, who earned the #1 title or #1 contender spot, and might have to wait 8 months for his shot if BJ defends the lightweight belt first?
That's a great question.
Thanks, guys. Love it.
It's a great question. You know, you've got Kenny Florian now waiting for the 155-pound. We got Thiago waiting. But at the end of the day, this is the one thing that I always say about the UFC, and I grew up a huge fight fan. There are fights that people want to see. GSP, BJ Penn 2 is a fight that people want to see. Again, I think this is one of those fights. This guy's fought before at 170. This is a fight. One of the things that we do is we deliver fights that people want to see. These two want to fight each other. Everybody in this room and all over the world want to see it. Why not do it? You know, Thiago and Kenny will get their shots. You know, they're going to have to wait a little while longer, but I actually think it's better for them too in the long run. This is a fight that has to be done.
Hello. This is a question for Dana and a question for GSP. Guys, good morning. Thank you so much for coming. Dana, currently you're doing England versus States. We're looking for new fighters. Why don't you next year maybe go for Canadian fighters versus American fighters? I know not USA, you're not going for that angle, but maybe that would influence, the provincial laws or whatever in order to say this is massive and really bring Canadian fights. And a comment for George, how do you feel about Dennis Kang now being in the UFC?
I think that, what did you ask me again? Yeah, I hate that whole Canada versus USA.
Yes.
Canada, nobody does. And I hate doing the whole, but we've taken a team of Canadians, we're working on that right now, too. We're working on a deal to do an Ultimate Fighter with Canadians. We are working on that.
Talking about Dennis Kang, I'm very happy he got to sign with UFC. He's not only a great training partner of me, he's also a good friend. So now he lives in Montreal and we're training together full time. So that's just a plus for me. So he's fighting in December, I think, or January. January. So we probably gonna try to peak in about the same time. It's gonna be good.
This question is more pointed towards Dana White. With the success of The Ultimate Fighter, and obviously the comeback with Matt Serra beating George St. Pierre there, do you ever have anything in plans to do another series along the lines of that? As well as with the success of Ultimate Fighter and all the fighters you're now getting, would you ever think of considering doing a Friday night fights or a weekly UFC event, maybe with lesser fighters trying to work their way up the ranks?
Yeah, people have asked me about that, about doing weekly fights. We're doing so many fights now with going global. We're gonna start doing fights in all these other countries too. I honestly don't think the sport is at a place right now where we could actually put on weekly fights, because one of the things that I like that we do is when we do put on fights, we put on good fights. Good fights with real good fighters. I just don't think the talent pool is big enough yet for weekly. But within the next 5 to 6 years, with the global stuff that we're doing, I think we will be ready for something like that.
about the comeback?
Comeback, doing the comeback again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a possibility. You like the comeback?
Yeah.
We're doing 12 seasons of The Ultimate Fighter. Our deal right now is for 12 seasons. It's already one of the top 10 longest running reality shows in history. So we're 12 seasons for sure, and we'll see what happens.
I was just wondering, with all the professional sports having farm systems, have the UFC ever thought about creating a farm system to give fighters that grow older and retire a place to go to train younger fighters and have amateur ranks and so on and so forth?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we have a lot of things that we think about that we'd love to do. The one thing that everybody has to remember, no matter how big we think this sport is right now, we've only been doing this for 9 years. You know, you know, when we talk about things like that, you gotta remember too, we're still not allowed to do this in Massachusetts, New York, most of Canada. You know, there's so many other things that we fight these battles every day. You know, the one thing that I'm guaranteed every day when I wake up is something bad's gonna happen. Every day when I wake up, something bad happens, believe me. So I have to, you know, we have to target, plan what we're doing, things like that. It's like, you know, MMA becoming an Olympic sport. It's going to happen eventually. It's got to happen. I just hope I'm alive to see it. You know, there's a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do.
Mr. White?
Yeah.
Sir?
Yeah. Where are you?
Right here.
Right here.
First of all, I would like to thank you for all you've done for MMA. But there's just one question. I don't know one MMA fan who's not wondering why we don't have Fedor in UFC.
Do you think that I didn't want to get him in here? Do you think that I don't want to? I mean, the gentleman over here asked me the question. I've got these two fighting. Do you think I don't want to put on the best fights?
Well, I heard you say that he sucks, and I
Yeah.
don't think even you.
No. It's not even that he sucks. Here's my thing about Fedor. If you're going to call yourself the best fighter in the world, or other people are going to call you the best fighter in the world, you better be fighting the best fighters in the world. Let me tell you what, both of these guys fought their way up and win the title. And now what they do is they continue to fight and fight the best in the world and prove that they're the best. Now they're going to fight each other and to try to prove that they're the best. This guy hasn't fought since 2005. He beat Tim Sylvia. He knocked, everybody knocked fucking Tim Sylvia out. Okay? Everybody did. You want to stay the best and other people want to call you the best, you better fucking fight the best. I've been trying to bring Fedor in. I've been trying to get him. Believe me, I swear to God, this is no bullshit. I had my attorney call him again yesterday, okay? You guys think I don't want him? I want him in here. I want to find out. I'm a fight man too. I want to know if he's that good. Let's find out. Let's get him fighting 3 times a year, fighting the best fighters in the world, and let's see. That's my thing. The problem is that guy doesn't run his own career. His crazy-ass Russian manager runs his career. Think about this. In all the time that I've been trying to deal with Fedor and bring him in, I've never met Fedor. Ever. I've never even met him. So, I mean, everybody, you know, it's a two-way street. They've got to be willing to work and come in. It's not like I didn't try to get, and I'm not trying to get Fedor. That's it.
Well, Dana White, I just want to congratulate you for bringing MMA to a whole new level.
Thank you.